Hello, it's Lori and Bibi, and we're going to talk today about clicker training. So, Bibi is going to be my demo dog for today. Now, we're up on a table just because it's easier to show you on a table what I can do with her. But I also, she sees the food. I also think that training on a table, especially for Whippets, is a really nice thing to do. Because number one, you have a little bit more control. And secondly, if you show them, of course, you tend to show them on a table. But third, you don't have to bend over and kneel down. So a lot of things in dog training, static exercises like sit down, watch me, things like that, they're much easier when you're at the dog's level. So Bibi's not used to being on the table as much as I ought to have gotten her up on the table. So she might be a little bit nervous at first. But anyways, what I'm going to do is try to kind of sit her down, and we're going to talk about clicker training. Now, clicker training is a form of positive reinforcement, and it's a very simple formula. Two things. First of all, click means treat. That's the first thing you teach your dog is association. The click is an indicator that they're going to get a treat. So the dog learns, okay, when you click that thing, I get a treat. You start out by making that very immediate. You have to teach them that click means treat. So you do it very quickly. You tend to click at the same time that you give the treat. Then you build a delay. So pretty soon the dog will learn, okay, she clicked. I'm going to get a treat. I might not get it right away, but I'm going to get a treat. The second piece of clicker training is that click not only means treat, click also means it's a form of communication that tells the dog whatever I was doing at the exact second that that click happened is what brings the treat. And that's really the principle of positive reinforcement, is the dog is doing something very specific, he's rewarded, and then he tends to repeat it if he wants that reward again. He's motivated to repeat the behavior because he's gotten something good. And most people know examples of that, you know. So why do you use a clicker? Why can't you just give them a treat? Well, the problem is that say you're trying to get a dog to sit or to do anything, and you tell him he's good, and then you give him a treat, like, you're a good girl, that's a good girl. So let's, I got some treats here. Here, Bibi. Give me a Bibi. Look, you got a treat? You got a treat? Oh, you got a treat? Good girl, good girl. Good girl. Okay, good. Okay, now in the 3 minutes that I'm sitting there giving her a treat and I'm telling her she's good several times, does she know exactly what it was that brought that treat? No, she kind of just followed the treat up and her butt hit. Really what I want to do is I want to reward her for that action of her butt hitting the floor if I want to teach her to sit. So the clicker, it's a unique sound, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a clicker. It could be a word, yes. I use yes. Some people use good. Some people make a noise like, you know, a clucking noise. But it's something that the dog learns to kind of listen for. So it doesn't just have to be a clicker. But I've just found that clickers tend to work. So I use clicker, and then I also use a click word, which for mine, it's yes. They learn that when I say yes, that's what I'm looking for, whatever they were doing at the time I said yes. Okay, so how do we start this out? Now she doesn't have to be sitting, okay? So I really don't care if she's sitting. But what I'm going to do is I get a handful of treats. And I get enough that I can work quickly. And the key to clicker training, or doing any training, is work quickly and efficiently. So I've got the clicker in one hand, got the treats in my other hand. So this is what I'm going to do. Hey, baby. Good girl. Okay, so you want to funnel the treat right through the end of your finger like this. Okay. And you notice I have the clicker on the side. Oops, I dropped that. Baby. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I'm pushing her back a little bit. Good girl. Baby. Now you want to get to the point, like I'm starting out by As soon as I push it in her mouth, I'm clicking it. Good girl. Then I'm going to try to get to the point, after I've done about 10 or 20 of those usually, is I'm going to click, then treat. Baby. Treat. Click. Treat. Did you see she looked at the clicker? Treat. Good girl. Okay, get back. Okay. Treat. 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 Good girl. Okay. Hey, baby. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch treats. Give her something just a little bit different. Okay. Here, baby. Here. Okay. Baby. Treat. Good girl. Treat. This is a little bit bigger treat. Good girl. Baby. Good girl. Now, did you see there, what I start to look for, when she hears the click, that she looks at my treat hand. Okay. Look at the treat. Do you see that? Baby. Oh, look for the treat. Good. Okay. Baby. Look for the treat. Okay. Okay. So, what is your goal for your first training lesson on click and treat? Is to teach the association of click means treat. And the way that you do it is you get a bunch of treats that you can pretty much give them pretty quickly. And they don't have to be up on the table for this, but I'm doing this to show you. And then you're gonna, once again, you're gonna feed them and click. Now, if your puppy starts acting funny about the clicker sound, then what you do is put the clicker kind of behind your back or off to the side. Don't put them so close to them. I tend to like to kind of hold it off to one side, because what I'm looking for is I'm looking for her to look at the clicker and look for the treat. Okay, we're going to show you in the next lesson that they'll learn to look a little bit more, and I'll probably put Minx up here, the mom, so you can kind of see what response we want to get from the clicker and from the treat. But you're going to do them in sets of 10. Do 10 quick ones. Put them in her mouth, click, 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 click. Do another 10, rest. Do another 10, rest. Then start moving toward click, treat. But I will warn you, for the first 3 or 4 days, at least, and I usually tell people the first week, you don't want to go any longer than click, 2,000, treat. Click, 2,000, treat. Okay, so you don't want to go any longer. Don't start moving ahead. Okay, you want the dog to have 100% success. And we'll talk about that next time with BB, before BB gets all the treats that are sitting on the thing.